In the complex landscape of romantic relationships, words can often be a fickle currency. A man can easily say exactly what you want to hear, weaving beautiful promises of forever, only to disappear when the reality of commitment requires actual effort. Conversely, some of the most deeply devoted men are notoriously quiet about their deepest feelings, struggling to articulate just how deeply intertwined their happiness is with your presence. When a man falls deeply in love, a profound shift occurs within his psychology. His greatest desire shifts from simply winning your affection to protecting the bond you share at all costs. He becomes quietly, yet intensely, terrified of the thought of a future without you. This fear of loss isn't born out of toxic insecurity or a desire to control. Rather, it stems from a place of profound respect, vulnerability, and the sudden realization that you have become irreplaceable in his world. Because men are traditionally conditioned to mask their emotional vulnerabilities and maintain an aura of stoic independence. This fear is rarely expressed through dramatic, tearful confessions. Instead, it leaks out through his daily habits, his subconscious gestures, and the deliberate choices he makes when he thinks you aren't paying attention. It is written in the way he prioritizes your comfort, the urgency with which he resolves misunderstandings, and the effortless way he includes you in his long-term vision of tomorrow. He begins to speak a silent language of devotion, a series of behavioral cues designed to secure his place in your life and ensure you never have a reason to look elsewhere. Understanding these subtle, non-verbal signals is the key to unlocking the true depth of his commitment. When a man is genuinely afraid of losing you, he leaves a trail of unmistakable clues. He stops treating the relationship as a casual romance and begins treating it as his life's most valuable treasure. He stays hypervigilant, noticing the slightest shift in your mood or the smallest detail of your day, not because he is suspicious, but because your peace of mind directly dictates his own. He willingly swallows his pride during arguments, matches your emotional energy step for step, and actively molds himself into a better version of the man you deserve. He does the heavy lifting behind the scenes, improving his bad habits and integrating you into his core inner circle to build an unbreakable foundation that keeps you firmly anchored by his side. By learning to decode these 15 silent signs, you can peer past his protective exterior and see the raw, beautiful reality of a man who knows exactly what he has, honors your worth completely, and is prepared to do whatever it takes to ensure he never has to face a day without you. He double-checks your schedule and plans. When a man is deeply afraid of losing you, your time together becomes his highest priority. He doesn't just casually ask about your weekend. He meticulously double-checks your schedule to ensure he doesn't miss any opportunity to see you. This behavior stems from a subconscious need to remain a constant, reliable fixture in your life. By knowing your plans, he can seamlessly align his own availability, preventing any distance or drift from growing between you. It also shows a high level of respect for your time, as he wants to avoid imposing while ensuring he is always there when you are free. He wants to be the person you count on, and keeping track of your routine is his way of staying closely woven into your daily existence. This consistency is a clear, silent indicator that the thought of fading out of your routine genuinely terrifies him. He remembers and acts on the smallest details. A man who fears losing you listens with intense intentionality. He doesn't just nod along during conversations. He actively logs away the smallest details. Your favorite coffee order, a random childhood memory, or a minor stressor you mentioned in passing weeks ago. More importantly, he acts on this information. When he surprises you with that specific snack or handles a chore you dreaded, he is actively demonstrating your immense value to him. This level of attentiveness requires significant mental and emotional effort, proving that you occupy his thoughts even when you are apart. It is his way of making himself indispensable to your happiness. By continuously proving that he understands you better than anyone else, he silently reinforces his position in your heart, ensuring you never have a reason to look elsewhere for comfort or understanding. He steps up to resolve arguments immediately. In many relationships, conflicts can lead to prolonged silence, ego battles, or emotional stonewalling. However, a man who is terrified of losing you will completely discard his pride during a disagreement. He refuses to let the sun go down on an unresolved issue because the thought of creating emotional distance between you is too painful to bear. Instead of retreating or trying to win the argument, he steps up immediately to find a resolution. He focuses on communication, compromises willingly, and prioritizes the health of the relationship over being right. This urgency shows that he views any fracture in your bond as a major threat. By rushing to heal misunderstandings right away, he ensures that resentment never has the chance to build, protecting the connection he so desperately wants to preserve for the long term. He actively seeks your validation and opinions. When a man is deeply invested in keeping you by his side, your perspective becomes his ultimate compass. He will actively seek your advice, validation, and opinions on everything from major career shifts to minor daily choices. This isn't because he lacks independence, but rather because he values your mind and wants to ensure his life choices align with your standards. By consulting you consistently, he is silently communicating that your approval matters more than anyone else's. He cares about how you perceive his character, his style, and his ambitions. Earning your respect and admiration gives him a sense of security in the relationship. He knows that if you lose respect for him, he risks losing you entirely, so he constantly checks in to ensure he is measuring up to the man you truly want and deserve. He makes space for you in his long-term future. A clear sign that a man is terrified of losing you is how naturally and frequently he includes you in his vision of tomorrow. When he discusses his career goals, travel aspirations, or housing plans, he speaks in terms of we rather than I. He doesn't make major life decisions in a vacuum. He actively carves out a permanent, welcoming space for you in his long-term trajectory. This forward-thinking mentality shows that he cannot conceive of a fulfilling future that doesn't have you in it. By anchoring you to his long-term plans, he is subtly trying to secure your commitment and reassure you of his own. It is a protective mechanism designed to weave your lives together, so tightly that separating becomes unimaginable, giving him the ultimate reassurance that you are here to stay for good. He introduces you to the most important people in his life. When a man harbors a deep fear of losing you, he won't keep you hidden away in a private bubble. Instead, he will actively integrate you into his core social circle, eagerly introducing you to his family, childhood friends, and closest colleagues. This step is a powerful psychological move to anchor you more firmly into his world. By bringing you into his inner circle, he is proudly showing you off and signaling to everyone that you are a permanent, highly valued fixture in his life. He deeply desires their approval of the relationship, wanting his loved ones to love you just as much as he does. This behavior builds a strong network of shared connections around the two of you, creating a beautiful, supportive web that makes the relationship feel incredibly solid, secure, and much harder to walk away from. He becomes vulnerable and shares his deepest fears. Men are traditionally taught to hide their weaknesses, but a man who is terrified of losing you will willingly lower his emotional guard. He will open up about his insecurities, past failures, and deepest fears because he trusts you implicitly and wants a profound, unbreakable bond. True vulnerability is the ultimate sign of commitment. By showing you his raw, authentic self, he is handing you the keys to his heart. He knows that a superficial connection won't stand the test of time, so he risks being hurt to build absolute emotional intimacy with you. This openness is a silent plea for closeness, showing that he values a deep, genuine understanding far above his own pride. He shares his inner world to ensure you feel connected to his soul. Binding your hearts together, he matches your energy and effort level. In a relationship where one partner fears losing the other, you will never have to chase them or wonder where you stand. He will consistently match your emotional energy, text response times, and overall effort level because he never wants you to feel neglected or unappreciated. If you plan a special date, he will enthusiastically plan the next one. If you offer comfort during a tough day, he will be your rock when you face a challenge. He understands that an imbalance in effort can cause a partner to lose interest and drift away, so he remains hyper-vigilant about keeping the scales perfectly balanced. This equal reciprocity is his way of proving that he values the relationship just as much as you do, ensuring you always feel choosing him was the right choice. He shows signs of subtle jealousy or protectiveness. While toxic jealousy is a major red flag, a healthy, subtle dose of protectiveness is a natural response when a man is afraid of losing you. He might get slightly quiet when another man hits on you, or he might place a protective hand on your lower back in a crowded room. This behavior isn't about control or a lack of trust in you. Rather, it is a subconscious acknowledgement of your immense value. He recognizes that you are a catch and that other people see your beauty and worth, which triggers a mild, protective instinct within him. He wants to firmly establish his presence by your side and ensure you feel completely safe and cherished. This quiet protectiveness is a clear sign that he views you as his greatest treasure and wants to guard you. He apologizes sincerely when he's in the wrong. A man who values winning an argument more than your feelings is a man who isn't afraid to lose you. Conversely, when he is terrified of pushing you away, he will swallow his pride and offer a genuine, heartfelt apology whenever he makes a mistake. He won't give defensive, hollow excuses like, "I'm sorry you feel that way." Instead, he will take full accountability for his actions, acknowledge the pain he caused, and change his behavior moving forward. He prioritizes your emotional safety and peace of mind over his own ego. To him, preserving your trust and keeping you close is infinitely more important than protecting his self-image. This willingness to humiliate his own pride for the sake of your comfort is a profound, silent indicator of how irreplaceable you are. He celebrates your successes like they are his own. A man who is genuinely afraid of losing you will never view your achievements as a threat to his masculinity or position in your life. Instead, he becomes your absolute biggest cheerleader, celebrating your wins with an unmatched level of genuine enthusiasm. Whether you land a major promotion, hit a personal fitness goal, or successfully navigate a difficult situation, his face lights up with pure pride. He wants to be the very first person you share your good news with, and he makes a conscious effort to make you feel like a queen when you succeed. By lifting you up and matching your joy, he is silently reinforcing that he is your ultimate partner in life. He acts this way because he knows that if he fails to support your growth, you will eventually outgrow him and leave him behind. He initiates consistent, meaningful communication. When a man is deeply invested in keeping you close, he refuses to let the conversation dry up or become a guessing game. He initiates contact daily, not out of obligation, but because hearing from you is the best part of his day. You will never find yourself waiting hours for a text or wondering where he went, as he keeps you updated out of pure respect and affection. Furthermore, his communication goes far beyond superficial good morning texts. He actively asks deep questions, shares his day, and seeks to truly understand your thoughts. This consistency is a protective measure to ensure that distance never forms between your hearts. He knows that silence breeds detachment, so he keeps the lines of communication wide open to maintain a vibrant, unshakable emotional connection with you. He noticeably tries to improve his bad habits for you. True change is incredibly difficult, and a man will rarely alter his deeply ingrained habits unless he has a profoundly powerful reason to do so. When he is terrified of losing you, you become that reason. If you calmly express that a certain behavior, like his lack of organization, his punctuality, or the way he handles stress, bothers you, he won't just brush it off. You will see a visible, sustained effort on his part to correct those flaws. He doesn't just make empty promises. He takes actionable steps to become a better version of himself for your sake. This intense self-improvement shows that he values your long-term happiness over his own comfort zone. He is willing to do the hard work of personal growth, just to ensure he remains the man you truly deserve. He notices even the slightest shift in your mood. When a man's heart is entirely tied to yours, he becomes hyper-aware of your emotional baseline. He can instantly sense a subtle shift in your energy long before you ever say a word. If your tone of voice over the phone drops a fraction of an octave, or if your text replies become slightly shorter than usual, he will notice immediately and ask, "Is everything okay?" This hypervigilance stems from a deep-seated fear that something might be wrong between the two of you, or that you are pulling away from him. He doesn't ignore the signs or wait for things to boil over. He addresses them instantly because your emotional comfort is his priority. His ability to read your silent cues proves just how deeply focused he is on keeping you secure. He prioritizes your comfort and happiness above his own. At the very core of his behavior lies a beautiful willingness to put your needs ahead of his own desires. When a man is afraid of losing you, your comfort, safety, and happiness become his ultimate mission. He will happily drive out of his way to pick you up in the rain, watch a movie he has zero interest in just to see you smile, or give up his own free time to help you through a stressful project. These acts of selflessness are not about him being a people pleaser. They are a direct reflection of how deeply he treasures your presence in his life. He understands that love is an active verb, and by consistently choosing your happiness over his own convenience, he is silently making himself an irreplaceable source of joy, love, and security in your world.